I want to introduce this young lady. She is, my next guest is a young lady. She is born in Chicago. She's a freshman at Yale who made a very sensational debut in a movie called Flashdance. Would you welcome Jennifer Beals? We met briefly in the hall, and I said, congratulations. It's remarkable. Is this your first kind of major...
This was the first big role that I've had.
Yeah.
I worked on My Bodyguard for a short amount of time.
Right.
But that was more sort of as like an extra part.
Yeah.
I met a lot of my friends.
Did you have any idea that this movie would get the reaction it did?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. I mean, I can't go anywhere in Los Angeles, really.
All of a sudden, everybody knows you?
Yeah, it's funny.
Do you like that?
Sometimes it's really flattering, you know,
Yeah.
when I feel very low and someone says, hey, you did a good job. That's
good.
nice. But then other days when I'm, you know, really depressed and, you know, just had a really hard day.
Which do you have
physically.
the most of, happy days or depressing days?
It's pretty mixed.
Mixed.
And I'm glad.
You auditioned with how many other girls for this role?
4,000.
4,000?
Yeah, I didn't know that at the time. I walked into the office to audition. Well, first of all, I'd come back from Europe a few days early to audition in New York, and the airlines had managed to lose my bags, and so I didn't have any money, and I didn't have any place to stay, and so I felt sort of like a vagrant, and I walked into this audition feeling all nervous and, you know, anxious, not only about the audition, but about my whole situation, and they wanted me to read the scene, which called for a lot of screaming and crying, which was just what I was prepared to do.
Good, yes.
But there were only 3 girls there then. But later on, after I got the part, they told me.
Let's show a little piece of this, okay?
Okay.
I don't know if this needs any particular setup at all.
No, it's just...
Little talk and a little motion.
Little dance.
A lot of motion. From Flashdance.
Really, it was pretty boring. Except for maybe music.
They have music in Altoona?
Well, my father, he loves music. This one time, he took us all to the symphony, my whole family. It was supposed to be this really big deal. At first, I didn't like it very much. I mean, there's nothing really to do with your feet, and there's nothing really to look at. It's boring. And I was ready to nod out or something. He said to me, if you close your eyes, you can see the music.
Yes, yes. So, the scene where you're removing various parts of your garments, is that an important part of the movie? The plot, in plot development, or?
It's one of my favorite scenes because she does it with such innocence.
Yeah.
You know, and it came about, we were in a costume meeting and we were changing clothes all day, and Adrian, the director, wanted to see the camisole that I had underneath, and I had all these layers on, so I said, okay, fine, and I reached under and undid it and pulled it out, and he said, I can't believe you did that. And so in the course of things, we used it.
Just put it in the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's making a lot of money, this picture, isn't it?
Sure is. Our producers are awfully happy.
Yeah. Did they pay you a lot for this picture?
Enough to pay for college.
That's right, you're in Yale, aren't you?
Yeah.
What's your major?
God only knows. I don't know yet.
Yeah. Somebody says you've got a final in something next week.
I have a final in astronomy on Monday.
Well, that's got to be an elective course, isn't it? I mean, you take that
Yeah, for fun. I made the mistake of not taking it past fail, but that's okay. Do you know anything about astronomy?
A little bit.
One of the things we learned that was sort of interesting is we learned about neutron stars, and they're very, very dense, but they're only about 10 kilometers in radius, which means that if you were to take, like, say, this amount of space, it would weigh 1 million tons.
Per teaspoon, almost.
Yeah. And
it's hard to imagine, isn't it?
Everything in astronomy just makes you feel very small, and it makes you realize that even when you think you're messing up, it doesn't really matter in the huge scheme of things.
Puts it in perspective.
It sure does.
Jupiter is out right now, you know, at this time of year.
You know what I read?
You get a very good look at Jupiter, and you can see the moons of Jupiter.
I read that what they think now is under one of the moons of Jupiter inside, under the ice, there's a sea, a frozen sea.
And Jimmy Hoffa is in it. No. A little wrong humor there. Sure, could be.
I don't know.
Might be some life out there.
Not my family.
Well, Saturday night, there is life on Mars. The rest of the week, it is very quiet. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We'll talk. Hi. You go out with a telescope and look at the planets at night?
I try to.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah. What else have you found out that's intriguing?
Black holes are pretty interesting, I've found, because I didn't know very much about it. I mean, in sci-fi, people make it sound like it's this huge, amount of space out in the universe that sucks up everything into it. And in reality, you have to be pretty close to be pulled into it.
Yeah, well, I do that every day. Don't go near a black hole. I get up in the morning and I write that down. It's nice to have you here. Congratulations again on the success of Flashdance. Have you got something else coming up soon?
I don't know what I want to do.
Right.
I think I maybe want to learn about production, too, so I can understand everybody's
Would you like to be a producer of a late-night TV show?
I don't want to take anybody's job
No.
away.
Thank you. You're a lovely gal. Thanks for being here.
Very much.
David, thank you. Would you come back? You're doing an album and come back and...
I'm planning an album, and in a few months should be done.
I'd like to learn a little bit how to do that.
All right, I'd be happy to show you.
Bob and Ray, thanks for being with us again. As always, see you soon again. Have a nice weekend.
Next on Late Night with David Letterman, meet the legendary Sophia Loren and cooking expert Julia Child. NBC. Let's all be there.